wisdom. Elijah sat at the table, stunned, mute, staring, exploding, joyful, anticipating, present, ready. Chief Billy, for that was his name, smiled. He didn't say anything for a few minutes, just smiled. It didn't look like he was holding anything back. He was just being present, enjoying the encounter. Elijah was beginning to fidget as he felt awkward with the silence. Mind you, he was in no rush to speak himself. He was all ears, just like Madame Laurier used to say. Big ears, small mouths. The mental mention of Madame Laurier brought back a flood of memories. Little Joshua, big Joshua, Elijah. Chief Billy interrupted his daydream. Yes, I know. Mama told me you are not speaking these days. She told me everything, You know Mama. You are probably wondering how I know Mama. Well, my young friend, I took Mama as my mother a long time ago when my own mother died. Ever since that day, I have been turning to her any time a kid would naturally turn to his mother, She told me you two were close when you were at the age of 9, I am so sorry for your loss. Elijah said in his heart to the elder. No need to feel sorry, Elijah. As you now know, the Creator compensates greatly when we turn to Him. He gave me His own mother to be mine. What a great honor! So, you are telling me you can read my mind? Seriously, you can read my mind. Okay, what am I thinking now? Trees. Elijah, it doesn't work that way. Trees. I am one of the children of the great Creator. He has become one of us. He died for you and for me, He went back to His Father and sent us the Great Spirit. You know all this. Trees. I am not a mind reader. Trees. Whatever the Great Spirit gives me to say, I say. Trees. That's it. Chief Billy burst out laughing. He couldn't stop laughing for about 30 long seconds. Elijah began to unwind and felt like he was exactly where he needed to be. The pace of the beautiful elder, for that is what he called him in his mind for the rest of his life, was so slow compared to anyone he had ever met. He spoke slowly, paused often, and laughed long and hard. Time out of time. This time, before Elijah could even ask him his name, the elder interjected. My name is Billy. People still call me Chief Billy, even though I haven't been a chief for over 30 years. He paused for a long time. He smiled and looked down before he continued. My young friend, I only have 3 days left here before the Great Spirit takes me home, to the loving embrace of my Noos. That is the Ojibwe word for father. Actually, it means my father. If I was talking about your father, I would have said goose. Chief Billy burst out laughing again. Elijah couldn't exactly hear what he was saying in his laughter, but it seemed like he was saying something like, Your father is a goose. Once he composed himself, he continued, What I am saying, is that I only have 3 days left here on earth, and the Great Spirit has sent you to me so I can adopt you for 3 days as my Nuzishin, my grandson. The Creator loves you so much. And well, so do I. He sent you to me so you can learn what it means to be human, like Adam. In Hebrew, Adam means to be red. Adama means earth. My people, the red people, are the ones who remained closest to Adama. The Creator took earth and breathed into it, and so the human became alive with his breath. The Great Spirit still seeks earth to make his home in, to fill, to give life to. Our work is to become earth. Come, Nuzishin, let's go back to the bush so I can teach you. Besides, I need a ride back home. My nephew dropped me off here. Chief Billy burst out laughing once again. Elijah, on the other hand, was not laughing. He had come close to 1,200 kilometers to be adopted by a man that he somehow mystically felt very close to already that was going to leave him in 3 days. Without realizing it, Elijah's heart broke so deeply, and he began to mourn the loss of a grandfather he had just met. See, Elijah, he told himself, relationships are dangerous. I don't know if I can handle losing one more person. Elijah wept internally. He was going to cherish every moment, every second he was going to have with the beautiful elder. They left the restaurant without seeing anyone or eating anything. The smell of the subway bread was long gone from Elijah's mind. He was being fed by the very presence of the Holy Spirit in the elder. Elijah understood how he got his smile wrinkles next to his eyes. He just laughed. Elijah and Chief Billy got into Greg. Chief Billy directed Elijah to go further north on the 584. After 15 minutes of complete silence, the elder began to speak again. "My dear Elijah, life for my people has changed so much from when I was a little one. I remember our whole life was in the bush. I remember Noah's and Nimishami's, my grandfather, spending their days trapping, fishing and hunting. The men were always in charge of fire, and the women were in charge of water. My grandmother would wake up before everyone to go and gather water from the river in the dark. Every day, rain, snow or shine, Noah's would spend a few hours a day just chopping wood. We little ones would go and help him get the dry kindle wood from the bush. My sister, as she got older, started helping Grandma with getting the water. We had our ways. We were happy. One day, a white man showed up in our camp. He looked like he was searching for something. You know, the white man is always searching for something." Elijah's mind went to Pac-Man. And well, it went to his father too. "Baba, I hope you are doing well." Anyways, as was our custom, we welcomed him into our camp. He saw in Nimishami's teepee a nugget of gold that his father had fetched from the river. The white man became agitated. He kept looking at it. He offered my grandpa to bring him a box of tea every year for the rest of his life if he would give him the nugget of gold. Nimishumis accepted graciously. The following year, while we were sitting in our teepee, we heard the sound of what we thought was 100 herds of horses or of bison, but there was no bison anywhere near where we were. When we stepped out, we saw these monstrous machines coming right for our camp. These machines were tearing down the trees out of their path. In a moment, our lives were changed. Just like that, we were displaced. We ran, with only a few things that my father and grandfather had a moment to gather. Those machines would have trampled us if we had stayed another minute. This was my first encounter with the white man. Our people had to move hundreds of kilometers to the north, where we were hoping to find a place we can be left in peace. That's it. All we wanted was to live our lives in peace. When Elijah looked over to the elder, he had tears running down his cheeks. "You see, Elijah, our people are a soft people. We are soft, We don't leave a mark. I still weep over all the trees, animals, and living beings that were uprooted in our original forest. All for what? A shiny hunk of metal. No wonder St. Paul said that money was at the root of so much evil, Chief Billy was lost in thought for a few moments. He wiped his tears, and then he gently said, "You know, Elijah, we never saw one tea bag, He burst out laughing. Sprinkled in his laughter were the words, "Not one tea bag." Elijah wondered why he found that so funny. "You see, Elijah, we never wanted the tea in the first place. I find myself still praying for that man. I still remember his face. That was over 75 years ago. I am sure he is gone from this earth. I was just so upset for him. Who taught him to lie, cheat, steal, and destroy? His poor soul was so empty it was constantly searching to fill its void, no matter what or who was the cost. Turn left up there, right by where it says Sullivan Lake. Greg got on the gravel road. Elijah instinctively slowed down as he drove down the winding gravel road. Chief continued, "I am going to take you first to our old land, the land our people came to when we were chased away from our forest." Chief Billy entered into a deep silence for the next 16 kilometers. Elijah enjoyed being surrounded by forest on both sides of the road. The trees were glorious. He loved being up north, he decided. He couldn't understand how it was possible to ever harm or seek to uproot or hurt anyone that was as beautiful and gentle as the elder. He thought of the harm and damage that the elder's people endured. He wondered if the suffering made them hard or if they remained soft. There were so many questions Elijah wanted to ask, but he chose to remain silent. He figured that the one who brought the elder to him would direct all their conversations. He chose to accept the poverty of his position in that moment, unable to offer anything back to the elder. Just a silence. He was the one who was receiving. "Chief Billy, not sure if the Great Spirit is telling you what I am thinking right now, but I wanted you to know that I am honored to be your adopted grandson. I am so attached to you already, and I can't imagine that I will be losing you in 3 days. Promise me that you will teach me everything you need to in the next 3 days. Promise me that when you get to heaven, you will say hi to my Esther. Please also, can you please let Mama know that I really love her and that I am thankful for her? I am sorry for what your family and your people have gone through, and yet somehow, I feel bad for all the people who don't know you and who are agitated lost and looking for satisfaction in all the wrong places. I was one of them. I really was. Well, I just wanted to say thank you. I feel super honored that you would spend your last days with me. Thank you. Chief Billy turned to Elijah the second he had finished, looked at him deeply in the eyes and smiled. He answered silently in his heart, "My dear grandson, I too am honored that Mama asked me to spend time with you. She wouldn't tell me much about your future, but enough to know that it is I who am honored." Here we are. Turn left here. This is the site of the old reserve. Elijah turned. He slowed right down as he felt like the elder was entering into a very nostalgic moment. In fact, the elder had decided he wanted to take Elijah to all the different spots that had helped him personally to become Earth Adama. He was saying goodbye to his Earth. Look here, to the left, Elijah, that is the spot of our old church. Elijah came to a full stop in front of a small field that was just a sprinkling of wild grasses and flowers. The elder wept. It was here that my friends and I used to run on Sunday mornings with firewood to heat up the church. It was always a race between me and old Tom. We wanted the priest to choose us to be his altar boys. Tears were streaming down his face at this point. Elijah felt like he was witnessing something so sacred, something so sad. When my people lost this church 10 years ago, it was like the community lost its heart. The church was the one thing that held our community together. It was in 1946 that Father Maurice had come to our community. He came with a group of missionary nuns from Europe. Here was a white man that was from head to toe good at. He was good. Oh, he was so good. They came and lived among us. They did not come requiring anything from us. They came and became part of our family. They lived in teepees like us. They hunted with us. They fetched water like us. They ate with us, laughed with us, and cried with us. They told us of the Creator's love for us. They told us of His Son, who gave His life for us. We understood this so deeply. You see, we know and understand the great way of all of creation. Everything, humbly, quietly, gently follows this way. Everything, gently, and without thought gives itself for the life of the other. You see, we ask every animal we hunt if they are willing to give their life for us. Each moose I have ever hunted looked at me first and offered his life for me. Our people don't take this offering lightly. We give thanks to the animal and thank the Creator for the life of the animal that is being transferred to us. Every part of the animal is then used. Nothing wasted. Waste would be a dishonor to the sacrifice. Everything is redeemed. You see the moose, the beaver, the stalk of corn, the squash fruit. They all offer themselves as food and life for us. This is the great way. Our people honor and respect all of life. And so when the Creator gave us His Son, Jesus, and He came and gave us His life, we understood, we knew deep in our very blood life, that the moose, the beaver, the stalk of corn, and the squash fruit, all of creation was following the Creator's Son. They had learned from the Son because He is the one by whom all things were made. If they offer their life for the life of another, how much more will the Son offer His life for the life of the world? This is the way of our soft people. His blood, His life, became our life. Oh, how we received and loved Father Maurice into our own families. We saw in him the same great way. He was giving his life for us. Oh, how we loved him and the nuns. They gave their life for our eternal life. The problem with the men and women who came to Turtle Island, that is what he called Canada, from over the great ocean, was that they saw themselves as being above the rest of creation. In fact, they forget that they themselves are part of the animal kingdom. They separate themselves from all living things in order to consume freely and to waste without thought, They forget that they are created creatures in whom the breath of the Creator was placed. They stand at the axis of all creation, between the physical and the spiritual, between the seen and the unseen. But they reject their part in the physical world as though they can consume and destroy creation at will. This is the fall. This is why our village was ravaged by machines, because we too were not living beings in their eyes. They could not believe that we, the red people, were connected to them. They called us savages. Here Chief Billy could no longer hold himself. He wept and wept. At times he looked like a 5-year-old child. Groans erupted from his heart. His soul had carried this pain. After a long time, the elder settled. But you know, Elijah, even now, even today, the great way has not changed. I have forgiven them. The Creator has not given me any other way. I would willingly give my life for them. I will give my life for you, Elijah." Elijah found himself weeping with his new grandfather. Elijah, the first step in becoming Earth is just that, to recognize your createdness. You are a creature, just like any other creature in this world. Don't forget that you came from dust, and to dust you will return. Embrace your connectedness and need for all of Earth. You are physical. You are not just a floating mind that is trapped in your body. No, you are an ensouled body and an embodied soul. The Son of the Creator was incarnate. You too must become flesh. Stop living in your lofty ideas. Become Earth by embracing your physical atomic reality. You actually are already Earth. Look around you. I used to run around on this very land as a child barefoot. No one told me to live otherwise, but I now know that I grew up feeling the earth beneath my feet. I was a member of creation, not above it. In fact, Father Maurice taught us to see ourselves as the servants of creation. He insisted that we were all considered by the Creator to be priests of creation. God rest his soul. Oh, how I loved him. I loved him so much that I went to the bishop of our diocese and asked if I could go into seminary and become a priest. He looked at me and said, "How can you? You're an Indian." That day I came back to Father Maurice and asked him if he had been lying to us this whole time. Father Maurice broke down in tears when he heard what the bishop said. We never saw the bishop again after that. I assumed that Father Maurice stopped inviting him. But I have never lost my love for the Creator, his Son, and the Great Spirit. He has carried me throughout all my years. Chief Billy became silent. Then, Chief Billy got out of Greg, crossed over to the land where the church was. He did the sign of the cross over himself, prostrated himself to the ground, grabbed a handful of the earth and held it up, with fingers slowly opening and the sand slipping through his fingers. He stood still for a long moment, signed himself again with the cross, and returned to Greg. "Goodbye, my sweet, sweet church." Elijah and Chief Billy spent the following 3 hours driving through the old reserve. The old reserve had no more buildings remaining. It was just a huge field with a few dirt roads that went into a circle. But to Billy, it was like every structure still stood in its place. He stopped at each family's home, told their story, and shared how they were somehow related to him. Elijah quickly understood that there were really 7 or 8 big families that comprised his tribe. He spoke of each one's gifts, talents, beauty, struggles, and achievement. It was clear that Chief Billy had loved his people very deeply and carried them in his heart. He shared stories of Father Maurice and the nuns. He spoke of how everyone shared everything. When one person caught a moose, the whole community ate. Nothing was for sale. Everyone had exactly what they needed. He laughed. He wept. Sometimes he did both at the same time. Before he left every plot of land, he said goodbye. He told Elijah how the government, over 10 years ago, showed up to their old reserve. They told his people that they didn't deem their reserve safe and livable. So they came to them with promises of building a safe and modern community for them. Houses with heating, electricity, running water, and running toilets. And indeed, the government had kept their word. Chief Billy then explained how all the elders began dying when they moved over to the new reserve. "You see, Elijah, if one of our elders wants water, all they have to do is this." Chief Billy did the movement with his hand of turning on the tap. Before, they had to walk several kilometers to go and get their water from the river. This kept our elders moving and healthy. Now the majority of them are becoming obese. Many now have diabetes. Majority have been frequenting the hospital in Geraldton and are on dozens of pills every day. This was never the case for our elders. Ease of life separated us from our earth. We became sick and are now dying because of this move. Oh, how I long for our old reserve. But the government forced us to burn everything down. And so my people continue to suffer, trying to live like the modern man and losing our identity as creatures, children of the Creator. After the tour of the old reserve, Chief Billy directed Elijah to what looked like a campground by a lake. The elder had prepared everything. There were a couple of tents, a used fire pit. They would camp there for the evening. Elijah took in everything that the beautiful elder said. For the first time in a really long time, he felt like he belonged to a much larger family of created beings. He was not alone. All of Earth was with him. He felt connected to all living creatures. He was thankful for his day with the elder. Plus. Right before nightfall, the beautiful elder, as Elijah loved to call him in his heart, started the most beautiful fire in the fire pit. This was a man that had started thousands of fires. It almost felt like the fire had somehow magically spontaneously ignited from the tips of his fingers. It didn't. It was just that the elder knew exactly how to start a fire that was just the right size. Wisdom. Sophia. This man knew fire. He didn't know about fire, he knew fire. Somehow, he himself had become fire. Elijah, what are you talking about? He chuckled to himself. You can't become fire, right? Elijah. The elder called out from the other side of the fire. Elijah felt like maybe the elder had actually become part of the fire. The dancing flames made his face seem in one moment like a child's face, full of innocence, and in the next moment, the face of an old sage full of experience. This morning I told you about connecting with creation in order to become earth. Adama. This evening, I want to tell you about the 7 grandfathers of my people and how they have taught us to become earth. Each grandfather a virtue. The 7 together teach my people how to be truly human. Elijah was mesmerized by the elder's high-pitched voice as he spoke in his language, naming the 7 grandfathers. Humility, bravery, honesty, wisdom, truth, respect, love. As he said each word, it was as though Chief Billy was speaking of something that was springing from inside of him. These were not mere empty words, but words with breath, words with spirit, words that carried the tradition of his people, words that he himself had aspired to incarnate, words that pointed ultimately to the unspoken logos of the Creator. He spent over 30 minutes on each word, telling stories, analogies, legends, and allegories. Each word carried a certain weight. Sometimes he would be unable to finish a story because he was weeping so intensely that he could only say the first part of the word and then would break into sobs. But he wept most intensely when speaking about Jesus and how he embodied each of the virtues. He spoke of the humility and bravery of the cross, the honesty and wisdom of his teachings, the truth of his sacrifice for us, the respect with which he dealt with every encounter, sinners and saints alike. But when the elder came to love, he paused for a long time. It had been over 3 hours of the elder teaching and sharing. He poured himself out completely in front of Elijah. Oh, but when he came to love, something happened. The fire had been very slowly waning. And yet somehow, the elder was becoming more and more illuminated as he spoke. And oh, when he came to love, Elijah's gaze was transfixed on the elder's face as somehow he became brighter and brighter. It was only when he said the word Zagedwin, love, that Elijah noticed that the elder was somehow glowing, physically. My beloved grandson Elijah, think nothing of your new grandfather. He is nothing. I am just earth. What you are seeing is Zagedwin. Beloved grandson, love is the sum of all of the other virtues, all in one. This light is Zagedwin. The Creator is Zagedwin. I am his beloved, and he gives light to every man that comes into the world. Love, light, even when I am but earth. I am just earth. O Zagedwin, O Lord Love. The fire died at 2:37 a.m. The elder and Elijah had both been sitting in silence around the dying embers. When the last one was extinguished, Elijah remembered that the elder now only had 2 days to live. Elijah sat and pondered the words of the elder. Elijah pondered the elder. Elijah pondered the maker of the elder. And then he slept, his heart filled with Zagedwin.